Hi, and welcome to the Gear Resource Outfitters. We're so glad that you've chosen one of our snowshoeing adventures with us. I'm here to welcome you and to also explain a little bit about our snowshoes. Our snowshoes are very traction-based snowshoe. These snowshoes have a tight cramp on the bottom side that allow you to grab onto icy situations. Different from many snowshoes though, however, you will see this saw-like structure on the side of the snowshoe. This saw structure gives you incredible traction side to side. That's very important because when we're out snowshoeing, oftentimes we're not hitting places where we have 20 plus inches of snow where we need lots of flotation. What we need is to be able to trek through woods like this, where you need to be able to get over logs, across icy rivers, and up waterfalls. That's why we use these snowshoes, because they provide the best traction we have. So if you're coming on one of our daytime trips, you will be using our snowshoes, and we hope you enjoy it. With our moonlight trips, they're a little less aggressive, but they're still a great option. We also provide those for you guys. The snowshoe itself is very easy to put on. My theory is, if you can put your pants on and put a belt on in the morning, you can put your snowshoes on. It's easy enough. What you're going to do is you're going to put your toe of your boot, so the edge of the toe is going to line up so it's about halfway between the opening here. You don't want your toe all the way up on top, otherwise you won't be able to lift the snowshoe, and you don't want it all the way back here or your foot's going to slide out of the snowshoe itself. So, right in the middle, and then what you're going to do is going to grab the first strap on the toe, and you're going to pull that nice and tight across the top of your shoe, and you're going to pull that underneath this clasp area, and put the eyelet area, or put the metal piece through the eyelet. Pull it snug and tight, and you're set to go. So you can see that my boot is now halfway between the open space here. I'm going to grab the toe piece, pull it nice and tight across, underneath the metal piece, pull tight, and into the eyelet it goes. The little black claps that are on here oftentimes will break off. If they're not on there, don't worry. Just let us know and we'll see if we can get a replacement for you. The next one I'm going to do goes across the top of the arch of my foot. I want to make sure this is tight, but not too tight, as otherwise I can cut off the circulation of my toes. So again, snug, but not too tight. The back one is a little trickier. In this case, I'm going to pull this nice and tight across the back of my heel of my boot, as low as I can go, pull it nice and snug. Now my snowshoe is fully attached. Now my snowshoes are completely on, and you'll see that my toe is halfway between the open space. That's really important because as you see when I pick my snowshoe up to walk, my toe swings right through my snowshoe. This is normal action. When you're going to walk in your snowshoes, you want to make sure that you're walking normally. You don't need to bow out your legs and walk awkwardly this way, and you don't need to lift your legs really high like you're marching. Just walk normally. A few more notes before we head out snowshoeing. When you're going downhill, naturally people want to turn their feet sideways towards the bottom of the hill. In this case, with these types of snowshoes, with the traction on the side of these, you want to point your toes straight down. So just keep your feet pointing straight down the hill. If you feel like you're going to fall, sit down. It's not that far to the ground, thankfully, and you'll be all right in the snow. When you're going uphill, same thing applies. Try to keep your feet tracking straight up the hill. As if you turn your feet sideways, either going downhill or uphill, you have a greater likelihood of actually spraining an ankle. So if you have any questions while you're out there with us, please feel free. We'll help coach you down that process. When you're going over logs and trees, feel free to go ahead and step right on them. The traction on the side of your snowshoes, again that saw on the side, will provide extra traction for you to be able to walk right across that. One other thing I want to mention is that when we're coming up to a cross-country ski trail, it's really important to step over the trails. Do not walk on the cross-country ski trails. So if this was a cross-country ski trail here, I would lift my foot, step over the trail, and this way, and then continue on. We just want to say thank you so much for choosing to join the Gear Resource Outfitters for one of our snowshoeing adventures. We certainly hope you have a great time. Tell all of your friends about us, and we hope to see you again soon. In the meantime, happy snowshoeing!